When the sky began to bleed, they said the rain was red because of dust. But dust doesn't move on its own, and dust doesn't whisper your name when it hits the glass. This is not weather. It's something older, something that was never meant to fall. It began without warning. A red mist on the horizon, then a steady rainfall that glowed faintly under lightning, a color no one could name. At first it looked beautiful. Then the first drops hit the ground, and everything changed. Metal screamed. Car roofs caved inward. Street signs melted like wax under a flame. But the people standing in it didn't burn, not even a sting. They called it the acid blood rain. Weather radars went blind. Clouds moved against the wind, forming spirals that seemed to breathe. And above them, a pulse of red light that flickered, like a heartbeat. No one could trace its origin. It wasn't volcanic, wasn't industrial, wasn't earthly. And every time scientists tried to collect samples, their instruments failed. The droplets weren't chemical, they were biological, alive. Under a microscope, they twisted. Each drop contained veins, cells, patterns like growing coral. But when magnified further, those veins rearranged themselves to mirror the observer's reflection. The rain spread fast, across cities, oceans, continents. It fell for 7 nights, and then it stopped. No transition, no warning, just silence. But silence isn't empty. In the days that followed, people noticed the hum, barely audible at first, deep beneath the ground, vibrating through concrete. Animals refused to move. Rivers stilled. The wind stopped blowing. The world had gone hollow. Then the recordings appeared, shortwave operators intercepting bursts of static. Within them, patterns that repeated every 23 seconds. Converted into sound waves, the pattern formed a rhythm, a slow, deliberate heartbeat. Some said it was the planet. Others believed something else had arrived and was now inside it. Satellites detected a dark circle where the rain had started, 50 miles wide, perfectly round. Nothing inside reflected light. When drones entered, their cameras failed, but the microphones kept working. All they captured was the sound of water and breathing. Weeks later, when the puddles began to evaporate, they didn't leave residue, they left patterns. Thin black veins etched into concrete, spiraling like fossilized roots. The patterns pulsed faintly when touched by moonlight. People called them the veins of the sky. They moved, slowly, growing toward each other. Governments declared the footage fake. Every file, every test result, every satellite image, erased within days. But some data leaked. Hidden inside a corrupted weather archive was a final sequence, a microscopic scan of the rain at its highest magnification. For one frame, one impossible frame, the cells aligned into something recognizable. Not random, not natural. A human eye. After that, the servers storing the file overheated and fused. The laboratory collapsed 3 days later when the foundation gave way, or as if something beneath it had been moving. And then it started again. Not everywhere, just in specific places. Abandoned factories, deserted fields, old wells, each one marked by the same pattern of black veins spreading outward, like ink in water. When wind passed through them, the hum returned, not random, not mechanical, rhythmic, almost alive. The air grew heavy, and those who listened closely began to hear words in the storm. Voices layered on voices, speaking in no known tongue, but carrying intent. The rain wasn't just falling, it was searching. When the first red clouds reappeared, people didn't run. They stood in the streets, staring upward, as if recognizing something ancient. The clouds pulsed once, like an immense lung exhaling across the world. And in that single moment, every light on Earth flickered. Scientists still can't explain what the substance was. No traces remain, only black stains that never dry. But if you cut into the ground where it fell deepest, you'll find layers of red soil that look and smell like blood, still warm. They said it was a weather anomaly. They said it was gone. But sometimes when lightning hits the ocean just right, satellites detect a flash, the same impossible color. No one knows what the rain really was. No one knows why it came. But every storm since then carries traces of it in the atmosphere. Waiting. And on nights when the clouds turn black and the air tastes like metal, you might see a faint red shimmer in the lightning and hear that hum returning from the earth below. The sky remembers, and soon it will bleed again.